We're back.
Who cares?
Who cares if we're back? That's not nice. Oh. That's not what you were saying. Who cares about, was it?
No. The count.
Oh, the countdown. Yeah. Da-na-na. No, I can't do that. We'll get bumped. I was going to do the final. I was going to do the final countdown.
Oh yeah,
theme, but
I think if you do a couple seconds, it doesn't matter.
Da-na-na. I'll just do the Vanilla Ice thing and then change one of the little beats. There, see, it was a little different.
All right, cease and desist.
Oh, our lawyers.
You're listening to Time to Lean, and here's a song, episode 91. Phil and John are going to talk a little bit, have a beverage, and then write an original song about something they talked about. I hope you enjoy it. Episode 91 is brought to you by Version Edgehour.
Hey.
Luckily, I know a few. Okay, I know 1.5. My sister Megan isn't practicing, so she's like half.
Oh, I see. Now she's not going to be happy.
She's going to stop listening.
She is a lawyer. If she's like Jody's a nurse because she keeps up on everything. Well, actually, maybe Megan isn't. I don't know. Certified, board certified, or whatever they do.
She's not bar certified or whatever that, you know.
Okay, I got you.
That you pass the bar in that state. Sometimes you pass the bar, sometimes the bar passes you.
You can cry like a tear, my sure's always a lawyer to me. Oh. Whoops. There's another song. But that was so different. That we won't
No, we won't get.
Okay.
Oh,
my. Talk about cold openings. This is fine. So this is the first episode of season 10, which is episode 91. We've done
The hills will never be the same.
The hills are alive with the sound of monster trucks. The Rapid City Plaza Civic Center won't have any parking for the orchestra.
Yeah. That was true.
I know.
The stock show or the...
I remember here. Well, the stock show.
My dad bitched about that so much. I hated that.
The stock show would screw up parking at school even.
And then he'd have to go fight Sam Elliott or something.
Sam Elliott? Oh, well, we'll go to... Oh, at the stock show, yeah. He'll have to fight his mustache. Sam Elliott will show up later in the show. I mean, he's not a guest, but we'll be talking about him. And not just his mustache.
Attempted mustache.
So I was a little sleepy, so I got some of that. It's Friday, and it's been a long week, and so I got some of that Pro Vigil from the White House.
Do tell.
Did you hear about that? I know we don't talk about politics very much, but there was a... Oh
no! How did I miss that? Go tell us.
Well, you haven't been on MSNBC for a while. I'm sure they would have covered this.
I was pretty sure I watched some last night. So
well, okay. So anyway,
evidently, Trump.
Yeah, evidently, during the Trump administration, there is a White House pharmacy. I didn't know this, and they were handing out drugs like candy. Not even to people that were eligible. They'd give people little packages, little care packages of drugs when they go on their trips. And
I did hear about this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But the Pro Vigil was one of the drugs,
which is pretty ironic considering that how big of a I don't imbibe person Trump is.
Well, drinking, but see, I think he likes his amphetamines like another or uppers. Like
does he?
I've heard.
Isn't it just Diet Coke?
No, I've heard he. I don't know.
He's on speed or something.
See, I shouldn't. Now I'm going to get sued if I'm not. I've heard that, but anyway, so he. But it is.
People are saying.
Many people are saying. Yeah.
Many people.
Many people. No, and but it is. It does go with that authoritarian sort of trend. I mean, another guy that we'll talk about later in the show, who was a dictator in World War II. He liked his amphetamines. So maybe we'll have another dictator in World War III, and there you go.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, we better end.
We're out of practice. It's been a long time since the epic season finale with King. Mr. King.
We have not had time to lean. We've been busy.
Oh, or too much time.
Or too much?
I've been leaning a lot. I've had this epic cold.
Yeah.
Since I got back from my cruise.
I can still hear it a little bit in your throat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been coughing. I'll probably have to.
In your nose.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
That's why I'm not drinking the good whiskey tonight.
It's not as bad as many years ago when maybe that happened more than once. We had to do the credits for our tapes. And
there's one particular one I know you're talking about.
And
I basically had lost my voice, and I croaked out a couple lines that were really...
and a special guest, Jeff Ron Spock. I can't do the voice. No, whatever.
I can't even do it.
And again, nobody that's listening to this will even know what we're talking about.
Well,
we used to do tapes in the old days, and back when they had tapes.
20% of our audience will get this reference in about 9 months. Just about how long it'll take them to get to listening to this.
No, it does. Yeah.
Hi.
We're not saying it takes them that long to get the joke.
No. Though they're still mentally nimble.
So let's see what else happened. So I because of various things, I went off the booze for a while. I didn't do a dry January exactly, but I Christmas Day I decided I'm not going to have any more. I was not feeling well, and it seemed to either be making it worse or it was definitely making it worse. Or I don't know if it's a cause of my illness, but so I was off for that for about 3 weeks, and now I'm just being way more moderate.
You're such a moderate.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, you didn't either.
I think just a few days ago I had a whiskey for the first time since about New Year's. So almost 3 weeks.
Well, you were sick.
You probably know what I'm talking about when booze doesn't. There we go. Booze doesn't really taste very good when you have congestion and things like that.
Sure, you can't smell it as well.
No, the taste and smell kind of go away, or there's enough of it, but it's the wrong elements of whiskey. Like all you can smell is the ethanol.
Yeah. See, now I'm experiencing that a little bit with this one I'm trying today, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah. So I maybe plugged up a little bit.
A week or a week and a half ago, I just poured a tiny bit in a glass and just tried it, and it tasted like shit.
But you had plenty during the cruise.
I probably, my liver definitely needed a break after that late December Caribbean cruise I did with my family, which we can talk briefly about. I feel like I've talked about cruises enough.
Yeah, well, we should start a spinoff call it the cruise.
Cruise news.
Cruise news. Who's cruise news?
Cruising, like the Village People album.
Special guest Ted Cruz.
With Ted Cruz.
Yeah, he could play that leather guy.
Yeah, or the Indian.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I'll cut that out. I've been sick. Give me a break. Oh, I'm barely ambulatory.
I think you could still say that. I mean, you shouldn't, but that's what...
No, in that context, I think it's okay.
That's what the character was called then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. The character of the Indian was played by Felipe Ortiz Rose, or maybe even Rose. I'm not sure, but he was an American musician in the original group of Village People. Disco, they did that kind of thing there, and he usually wore some kind of a war bonnet and loincloth and theatrical face paint, and he was in the group from 1977 until 2017, when the name of the group was turned over to the original lead singer, Victor Willis. And Rose subsequently launched a solo career and released a single, Going Back to My Roots. Thanks, Wikipedia.
And, Williams and Ree, like we talked about in our last
we
one.
made at least one Williams and Ree reference.
Last time.
I think I'm safe.
Okay. I guess. We are not Williams and Ree. We're John and Phil, and here we are. We're season 10.
Here we go. What is this, 91?
Yeah, how about that?
Damn. Okay.
How about them
91.
apples?
Well, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I decided, because I haven't had any around in the house, at least, I decided to get something yesterday, and I was at we ate at a place called Herbst in St. Paul I think it's on Raymond or something. It's a very good place to go for if you're a foodie, kind of a thing. It's I'm like sort of a foodie, but I'm like, mid-shelf foodie. I'm not high-shelf foodie. And there's a liquor store on the corner there that I forgot. But they don't have like a huge selection. It's pretty small. And one of the things that caught my eye was Fuyu, Japanese whiskey, small batch. So that's what I'm having. And
it's Japanese whiskey. Okay.
Have you heard of Fuyu?
I don't know. I've probably seen it.
It's got a neat label. Well, so anyway, it's got Fuyu means winter in Japanese, so it's winter here, right?
Okay, I really think so.
And it's well, let's see. It's a hand blended whiskey. There's 3 different distilleries it uses from Kyoto on the island of Honshu.
Yeah, Japanese whiskeys are often blends of various types.
Yes, and
they like to tinker with a lot of different whiskeys, and they're much less stringent about that than Scotch. Well, I gather there are almost no regulations surrounding Japanese whiskey, which I guess is a good and a bad thing.
Yeah,
but it's why people like Ralphie kind of turn their nose up at it.
Oh, Ralphie. It's 80% corn and 20% malt. So there you go. That's different.
Oh, so it's mostly a grain whiskey with some malted barley whiskey. So it's like a blended Scotch. It's
some American white oak barrels, and the age has to be at least 3 years, but they don't have a age statement.
Yeah, most Japanese whiskey does not. It's also very expensive. I feel like it's a little overvalued.
Well, this was 44, which I didn't think
for Japanese whiskey. I
didn't think that was too bad
bargain.
for that. Yeah. Let's see. So it's again, my smell isn't quite. I don't have a cold, and my smell isn't right. But I think it's a little woody. Well, that would be from the barrels, I guess.
Yep.
I like it.
Does it remind you of blended Scotch, or is it a little different?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, kind of. I mean, It's different, though. There's some other thing that doesn't taste Scotchy. Huh. Well, it's not. It's definitely not a bourbon-like. For some reason, I was expecting it to be more bourbon-like, but it's more Scotch-like. Interesting. Well, I'll make sure to have some next time we get together. Their words are nose is floral and young aromas, notes of caramel and spices. It's round and woody with notes of cooked fruits on the palate, and the finish is a suspicion of smoke.
So they think there might be like this 0.5% of peated whiskey in there somewhere. Suspicion.
It's
They're gaslighting you.
It's on an island or something too, so I don't know. Maybe. Fine. What do you got?
Yeah, I think you out.
Maybe I should have went last.
One. No, it's
okay.
I'm
going to try it on ice next. That was just neat.
Yeah.
Right.
So I am doing another blend actually. Johnny Walker Double Black.
Double Black. yeah.
which I haven't had in a while. Well, actually, I correct that. I had a bunch of it on the cruise because the bars all had it. That was probably one of the better scotches the cruise ship bars had. But I do enjoy it once in a while if the price isn't too bad and I found a good deal on it, so I got a bottle.
Now, wait a minute. Double black?
Yeah, so
What's
everybody
that about?
knows what
It's
Black
not-
Label
It's
is.
not blue.
No.
Try new Johnny Walker's Black and Blue. It'll give you the red eye.
Double Black is kind of a bastard stepchild of the Black Label, I guess. It's relatively recently made. I think I first ran across it about 15 years ago. And it's basically a smokier version of Black Label is the simplest way to put it.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's actually tasty enough. It's a little funny because it's still a blended scotch, so it's probably got a lot of grain in it, just like most of the Johnny Walkers do. But it also has no age statement, which is not true of Black Label. Black Label is 12-year. So who knows how old this stuff is. But
It's a baby.
Double Black is obviously got a little bit more peat in it. The thing that's interesting, it's kind of good and bad. It kind of hits you with the smoke right when you smell and taste it. It's definitely there in it, but it doesn't have much of a finish. It doesn't stay with you like a really good peated scotch
I was
does.
going to say, because usually those kind of hit you more towards the end.
This one seems like it's all up front, and especially, and it works well on ice because of that, but if you don't scrutinize it too much, it's tasty. Put it that way.
Now, some of them are smoky from start to finish.
Yeah. So yeah, this is just, it's nice. It's
For getting off a cold whiskey.
I think I paid about $35 for the bottle, which is about what it's worth. It's a little bit more expensive than Black Label, but I would not spend a lot for it.
I tell you, when you go through dry spells or whatever you want to say, you do end up saving some money. That's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I brought back a bottle from my cruise that I was going to have, but I thought I'm going to give it a little bit more time and pay attention to it more. So I'll maybe have that on the next episode.
Don't want to waste it.
Yeah.
Well, good.
For sure.
Well, speaking of the cruise, so this was like a Christmas thing, with all your almost all your family, and it was a big
there were
deal.
21 of us on this.
And you were all on the
group.
same floor or hallway?
Not quite. I think a few of them were up a deck or so, but most of us were on deck 6. Let me pause for 1 second here.
You've reached the time to lean line. All of our operators are busy snorting Pro-Vigil. Oh, by the way, don't forget buymeacoffee.com/time to lean if you want to leave a little tip. There's also the Patreon patronizing. There's a patronizing website, Time to Lean. On there, you can do a search.
Sorry about that.
Oh, fine.
Had to let Birdie in. Sorry.
I did a little buy me a coffee promo.
Did the song?
Kind of. But then I did the buy me a coffee promo.
And special thanks to those who are supporting the show.
Ding! Remember to
Okay.
hit subscribe. Oh, wait, that's YouTube.
That's YouTube.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Okay, you did this cruise and you were on deck 6, but some people were on deck 5.
Yeah, I think
Is that
a few
they
of
were
them
special?
were up. No, they were on deck 8, I think, or 7.
Oh.
I don't know. Who cares?
Wait, does it go up?
Well, yeah, I think there were. The ship goes to 14, I think.
Wait, so which way does it go? So 1 is the
Right.
lowest?
1 is like the bottom.
Yeah.
Crew is down there, and I don't know, the coal bunkers or.
And on Titanic, all the people were dancing and having soup.
Yeah, well, that's. I don't think even that they were that low in the ship, but I think the lower few decks, they do have some parts of the ship do have cabins. The kind of the cheap ones that don't have balconies are down there.
Ah, all right.
But yeah, we were up on 6, but there were 21 of us total.
Jeez.
A lot of the Rapid City crew, plus my brother Rob and his family. It was quite an unruly bunch.
You should have had the Noel Stevens discount.
Yeah, they probably wanted to charge us extra, actually, because
the cleanup.
We also sat at the same 2 tables at dinner.
Oh,
So they had to do that.
wow. Oh, yeah.
That was pretty fun, though. Yeah, we had this corner of the main dining room with 2 big tables, and each night we would all meet there and eat.
Kind of. Sometimes you'd rotate. People would rotate or something at different tables. And
We moved around a little bit, sure.
I don't know. I saw the pictures. It looked like fun. That's a lot of people. 21.
Yeah, it is, and of course you don't. Most of the time we were not all together. Of course, we'd do our own things.
You couldn't do everything all together all the time. That would be crazy.
No, nobody would like that. But yeah, it was good. It was a Caribbean out of Miami kind of thing, like Bahamas area. Not the most exciting place, but it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of a do this instead of driving for the holidays deal.
Well, I think the other thing too that's interesting, or probably a good idea, because it's like my family's been doing that a little more too, with more like instead of gifts, have a not that my kids give us presents yet, but more of an event or something. You're doing something together. I'm thinking of a different word. Thank you. It's more of an experience as opposed to, gift card exchange or something.
Yeah, I've really gotten to dislike like that over the years. It's just you're just giving each other money.
It's kind of weird.
But people have different ideas about that, I guess.
I mean, I think gifts are cool if you can think of something that's really kind of personal or something like that. But otherwise, I think sharing an event together, I think that's better.
Yeah, I thought I was a fan of this particular thing, and we were home on late on the 23rd of December, so we were actually home at Christmas itself, but we didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, except the cover from his cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. Well, I always need time off after some kind of vacation, even just a day, just to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I say, a vacation from the vacation. So.
Yeah, but we the flights and everything, people survived. The weather was, of course, nice and mild, so there weren't problems.
Yeah.
And it was a good time. A number of us had the unlimited drink package.
and got your money's worth?
I think we probably did.
Broke even at least?
There was, lots of whiskeys and cocktails. And but you can, I made use of it in other ways too. I would hit the Starbucks outlet and have lots of like cold brew coffee, things like that. I'd order fresh squeezed orange juice and all that junk that they normally charge you for.
But see, I forgot about that. Yeah,
included all that stuff too.
Oh, I don't know.
Milkshakes and whatever.
It seems like you'd have to do that almost, unless you couldn't afford it, I guess.
It was really nice to not have to think about it just for those days.
Yeah, well, if I go, like I've said before, if I was going to go on something like that, I don't want to have to. Oh wait, does this count? Or it's like
you just order stuff and they give it to you.
It's like trying to figure out if something's going to be covered on your insurance or something. I mean, I don't want to deal with that. I'm on vacation.
This was, the previous cruise
just included all
was different, but it had a dollar amount that you couldn't go over.
Oh,
which I think you would just be charged the difference. But
so if you order something
often.
Really fancy.
Yeah. There are a few whiskeys or things or probably some high-end tequilas, things like that might have tipped it over. But
okay, I can see where somebody might take advantage of that.
Yeah, although on this particular cruise, I think they did have a dollar amount, but I almost never saw any scotch that they had available that even went over that.
They didn't cover. Well, what you also did, I think you did at least one whiskey tasting of some kind. You and Bruce and Rob and
and Paul S. and
Paul S. Yes, of course.
and my
Somebody else,
stepson Spencer,
a new attendee. Yes, Spencer.
He tried Macallan for the first time.
Yeah, I mean he's not he's not a booze hound.
No, I don't think he'd ever had scotch in his life. So
what did he think of that?
He didn't mind it. I think it, drinking straight scotch, even Macallan, which is sweet and pretty easy to drink. Even that, if you haven't drunk whiskey at all, it's still a lot.
No, that would be, yeah.
Even if you put water in it. So he was a good sport, and he definitely sampled things, and
you got to get used to it.
He didn't hate it, but he definitely shared quite a bit of it with us. But that was a good time. We got to sample some fancy Macallan scotches.
Well, fun.
Yeah.
So that was just a Macallan sample.
This particular one was, yes.
Okay. Did you have like a favorite meal? Or
well, probably we did one kind of special one, and then we went to the sushi restaurant.
Yeah.
And sat at the sushi bar and ordered stuff, and that was
sure,
good.
like off of a Naked Lady. No, wait, that's not that. That's not that kind of cruise.
Different cruise. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
That's
a Tom Cruise.
Ted Cruz.
Now we'll get sued by Ted Cruz.
And the Scientology people are going to come after us.
Oh no, yeah. Well, maybe it's
engagement. Come on.
Yeah, they haven't gotten any press for a while, so maybe they'll be fine with that.
Maybe they're finally ready to come on our podcast.
All of the Scientologists?
Well, just a few.
Who? Yeah. Well, fine.
Don't ask.
L. Ron Hubbard can be on. The Ghost of L. Ron Hubbard.
The Ghost of L. Ron Hubbard.
There's a title. Or the song.
That's Roger Waters' next album. The Ghost of L. Ron Hubbard.
On his fucking fingers.
L. Ron Hubbard.
The book gave him a big paper cut, and he got syphilis.
That was a
cruise.
terrible Roger. I could have done a better Roger Waters impersonation than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, your favorite meal or favorite? Yeah, I don't know.
Sushi was probably although some of the best other food I had on there was probably, they at every main dining room dinner they had Indian food. And
okay.
It was, though, I had it like 3 different nights, and it was good each time, like Indian restaurant level.
Wow. India Palace level? India Chef or India Happy Chef? What was it? What did we call that place? It used to be a Happy Chef.
Happy India Chef, I think.
I don't know.
I can't remember. It used to be a Happy Chef, and
they had the best doll there. Oh, it was so good.
It was good.
Well, fine. Well, some of the guests there or in your family are of that kind of.
Well, of course.
Maybe they don't like it though. I don't know.
No, actually,
I shouldn't assume.
Rob's wife, who is Indian, she's the one that kind of suggested we try it.
Yeah.
I would have. I think the head chef on that particular boat was Indian. So
okay.
that could have had something to do with why, or some of the crew.
Oh yeah, Jody and I'd be all over that. We love that kind of food.
And it was good. I mean, some of the other food was good too, but the Indian food, it was. If you wanted something interesting, like spicy, that was definitely the way to go.
Nice and spicy.
Yeah, cruise ship food can be pretty bland.
Well,
but
a lot of the people that go there are.
That's right. Just like you and me.
Yeah. We get a little spicy sometimes. Well, cool.
Yeah, what else was? Yeah, it was the biggest cruise ship I'd been on before.
Did it have a roller coaster?
No, but it did have a water park and a bunch of junk and yeah, it had the big shopping mall area and down the middle, of course. And like,
what do they call that? The promenade.
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 Yes.
I'm gonna get a lemonade at the promenade.
It's kind of a nice feature.
It looks like. I don't want to say it looks like you're in the Mall of America, but it was.
Well, it has a little of that vibe because there has stores and food and stuff like that. But it's this kind of central location you can get to different points on the ship with.
Oh, sure. And
I
maybe
found,
meet each other.
I think it's kind of a nice feature, actually.
I'm going to meet you at the promenade. Yeah, you like the entertainment too, though. They had a good Jamaican band or something.
Yeah, one of the they had some. Let's see, they had a reggae band.
Reggae, not Jamaican.
That was they were from Jamaica.
Well,
but,
most of them were. The singer was from
Trinidad.
Yeah, fine. That's totally different.
Yeah, right. They were good, and they were just hanging out in the bar playing, but we sat and watched them for a set, and they were great.
I got to listen to some of the. Well, I think you sent me a recording, but also the. They had some YouTube video links or something too. That.
Oh, I think I posted some phone video.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
What was the name? Do you know?
I don't remember their name.
Post the link on here.
I'll have to figure that out.
It was
those people.
It was cruising.
Yeah, we saw a couple of shows. They did this ultra condensed version of Grease, the musical,
which would probably be for the best.
And it actually is, because they just do all the songs and just a few snippets of the dialogue, and you get it all done in 45 minutes.
It's the Reader's Digest condensed version.
It really was.
Do they still have those? Reader's Digest condensed versions of books in extra large print. We're getting to that age.
I think they do that a lot on cruise ships. Because that's about the attention span. You're not going to sit through a 3-hour show.
A book that would be a good candidate for that would be Gravity's Rainbow. I tried to read that.
Yeah. How about the Silmarillion?
Well, in a way, I almost said Ken Burns. He's not the director of those.
Peter Jackson?
Yeah, in a way, Peter Jackson's kind of did a condensed version of it.
Parts of that. Yeah. He took chunks of it.
I'd like to see a Reader's Digest condensed version of Gravity's Rainbow. I tried to read that book. I figured out that it's got... So I was struggling with it, and I worked at a bookstore at the time, and I was looking through the books, and there was another book. It was like a very large book, not quite as big as Gravity's Rainbow, but it's a pretty large book that was just a book that you could read that would help you understand Gravity's Rainbow. And I was like, I don't need to, because normally if I start a book, I got to finish it. Or a series or something. I'm a completist, even if it sucks. I'm getting over this. But I'm able to no, I don't need to finish this. But I don't have a fear of commitment. No, I don't know. But I gave up on that one. Sorry to all the Gravity's Rainbow fans out there.
You have fear of literary abandonment. Something like that.
But that spills over into our age-old argument of why didn't you watch this show or start this show? And it's like,
yep.
Part of it is, because I got to finish it.
That's true.
So it is a fear of commitment.
Yeah.
It's a fear of alpacas.
So speaking of
fear
shows,
what have you been watching?
Well, a couple of things. I finally finished The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes,
that's over now.
I think my wife Jody was thinking of watching that. What is?
I liked it a lot, actually. It's
not a superhero show.
No, absolutely not.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Sorry.
DC's The Marvel Marvelous by Zack Snyder. No.
Based on a short story by L. Ron Hubbard.
No. Of course, it takes place in the late 50s and early 60s New York.
Yeah, Jody likes those historical.
It's really fun. There's a lot of
things.
great, time period things, and the cast is great. It has Tony Shalhoub in it, who I love.
Oh, who's that? I probably would recognize him.
His big show was Monk. Have you ever heard of that one?
Oh yeah, okay, I know who you. Yeah,
he's been in other stuff, but he plays the lead gal's father. He's just hilarious.
Oh, he's an excellent actor. I didn't know his name, but I know.
It's good.
Okay. Well, what?
It probably is a little one season too many. I think it's 4 seasons.
What did
But
you like about it?
It's always good. Well, it's got you ever heard of the show Gilmore Girls?
Yeah, you really liked that show.
I thought it was
you
good.
and a former wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
I still think it's a good show. And
So it's kind of like that.
it's the same people.
Oh, interesting.
It's a husband and wife writing, directing duo.
Okay, so
That,
they're like the Coen brothers, except they're married.
And they they created both shows, and the writing is similar. It's a very clever dialogue, fast paced.
Oh, sure. I know what you mean. Okay, well,
Very in this case, very Jewish.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Not. They're not the Coen brothers, though.
Yeah, and it's
Are they Jewish?
It's good because the lead is this this New York housewife who becomes a stand-up comedian.
Right. Okay.
And
now
I mean,
remember that.
and like it's like mixed in with lots of real things and real people that were happening at the time. Of course, she's the story and the characters are mostly fictitious.
Oh,
but
wait a minute. Does she
know.
meet Lenny Bruce?
Yeah. She
Okay.
Lenny Bruce is a recurring character in the show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's getting more interesting to me.
I think you like it actually, Phil. It's really well done. Very funny.
Okay.
And it's easy enough. I watched it over quite a long period of time. It's pretty easy to just do some and come back to it and all that.
Sure. You're not like, oh, I got to watch 5 today.
I would recommend giving it a try, especially if Jody's interested in it.
All right. Yeah. She might watch it with one of my daughters, but maybe I could sneak in.
Yeah, it's fun. And the thing about it that's also cool is that the writing for the stand-up routines, and they show a lot of them, is actually kind of realistic.
Yeah.
And actually, very funny.
Okay.
So, it's not like one of those ones where you're like, oh, this person's an amazing stand-up comedian, blah, blah, blah. And you don't really see them performing. You just everybody talks about how great they are.
Sure.
There's been, shows that do that.
Well,
And this one actually takes the time to, develop that.
It could be hard to pull off. Is the actress a former or a current
I don't
stand-up
know
comic? I think she's
her-
just an actress, if I remember correctly.
So. Yeah. But she I mean the setup helps because she's just kind of, just by accident kind of gets up on the stage and starts
Talking about her life or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about her home life and all that, but it's
She's
very
no
funny.
She's no Seinfeld.
Yeah, well, some of the style, but yeah, it's good. And of course, at the time, it's a woman who talks about her life and is very, and of course, is not afraid to use foul language and stuff like that.
Sure.
Too, and gets in a lot of trouble, of course. Because
Okay. Yeah. So I can see where it probably goes sometimes.
and,
with the
it's New
cultural
York City
stuff
and all that stuff. So,
all right.
that's been a fun show. I'm also I watched this show called Silo that I liked quite a bit.
That's a post-apocalyptic one, right?
Yeah, it is.
People live underground.
Yeah, they live literally in a big silo.
So that reminds me of a Philip K. Dick thing. So it's not based on that though.
No, it's based on another series of novels
Called The Silo.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, see now
That's a good show, and it's only 10 episodes. So far, I think they're going to make another season, but
I don't know.
it's not a giant time commitment.
At work, we went through a huge phase about breaking down silos, so I don't know if I could watch it. But okay, anyway, so it's good. I mean, because
I liked it. Yeah.
Because this Pocahontas,
Apocalyptic Expialidocious.
Oh, wow, that gets.
I can't even spell that out for the title, so I guess I can't use it.
We could try. Mm-hmm. So, but maybe we shouldn't. The post-apocalyptic thing. I mean, what? God,
I do enjoy that.
But there's so many.
Yeah, they're not all good.
It still doesn't run its course yet, though, or it hasn't somehow.
I think there's always an appetite for post-apocalyptic things.
Well, because we are. I mean, I'm not an end time sort of person in the religious sense, but
Yeah.
Things don't.
Oh,
look,
and the one thing
things
that's
don't look
fun
great.
about Silo, the cast is really good, but Tim Robbins is in it.
Oh my god. I'm allergic to Tim Robbins. Sorry, everybody.
Apparently, yeah. And I haven't seen him in anything for a while, and it was fun to see him doing something.
He's not married to Susan Sarandon anymore, is he? I think they broke up.
Don't know.
No, I think they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't seen him in.
No, I don't think he's been doing much that I'm aware of. But yeah, he has a somewhat important part in this show. He's good. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a fun show. It really does a good job kind of dishing out the mystery of why because they don't really know why they're in there.
They don't.
The people who live there, yeah, they specifically say
It's been so long that
it's been long enough, more than one generation. They've been trapped underground because they can't go outside.
Oh, see, okay.
So it's a bit of a mystery box kind of show, but
Snowpiercer had the little bit of that kind of thing too.
it's a little bit like that. But they do a nice job developing that, and it has some kind of gimmicks and hooks, but it's well done.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I got to
really,
go blow.
really good cast.
I got to blow my nose.
Yeehaw. This is awkward. I think Phil ran to the store to get more Kleenex. I don't know what to do. Oh, did you go to Mini Mart and get some some Kleenex?
Mini Mart. Is that still a
At
thing?
Mini Mart. Little things mean a lot.
I just heard that a company bought Come and Go,
Oh, I saw that. Why did it take so long?
KUM, and they're gonna.
But not pumping back.
They got to change the name. There's gonna be a run on the merchandise. Yeah, something.
Yeah, that
something
was the
strange.
same chain that had their biggest coffee mug was called the Big Phil spelled with a P.
At Come and Go.
Yeah, they used to have that.
At least they didn't call it the big. Well, yeah, I remember you got me a mug on one of
Big
your
Phil.
road trips. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Come and Go at near Al's Oasis had that.
I love that mug. It was like it was like 2 L's or something. It was stupid.
Oh yeah,
But I still enjoyed it. Something whiskey for some reason has started messing up my sinuses. I'm allergic to it. And Tim Robbins.
fucking Tim.
Well, then there was Tim Peleni. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of
Tim's looking better.
Speaking of ex Minnesota governors, there's a big. I haven't seen it yet, if it's been out yet, but the Governor Ventura documentary is going to be out on.
Oh yes, that's right.
Minnesota TPT PBS. Minnesota. Yeah.
TPT. Give some TP at the TPT.
At the Mini Mart.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I watched a show called an anime called Pluto. It's on Netflix, and
It's not about a dog, is it?
no, and it's not about the planet.
Or
It's more about the god. Well, no, the name references to God, but it's not about that.
okay.
So it's very different from the anime that I normally watch with my oldest daughter, which can be kind of violent, and they talk an awful lot before they do their fights. You know,
And they exchange sandwiches.
no, that was.
I'm sorry, I keep making fun of that. It's this one thing, one line, but that's the thing that stuck with me. Unfortunately, there's something about blah, 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 sandwiches. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, oh my God, they talk a lot before they do anything. It's just bizarre on some of these shows. Anyway,
continue.
This is not like that. This is it's like a detective show. In a way, it kind of reminded me of Blade Runner in that except the main detective is an android and a realistic humanly realistic android, and It's very well
He's
done.
a paranoid android. Sorry.
There's no Radiohead soundtrack.
Or his name isn't Marvin.
Oh, Marvin. Oh, my God. I forgot about Marvin.
I'm sorry. I'm interrupting your flow. Keep going.
I don't have much of a flow today. There's nowhere for my flow to go.
Come on in to Flow and Go. You never know when you need to go and go with the flow. The flow and go.
This, but anyway, it's so it talks about these realistic humanoid androids, and it gets a little bit into the, their rights and that kind of thing. I don't know. It's very well done. I don't want to give any spoiler alerts or anything, but and it's not like Blade Runner in that style of futuristic kind of thing, but it is futuristic. But it just kind of reminded me of that a tiny bit at first, at least. But the first, I have to say, it really caught me off guard because my daughter and I were watching this episode, and we were literally moved to tears. I mean, it was so moving, and I was like, "Holy crap!" But I mean, basically, the that first episode is this one former war. There was a big war, robot war, and that kind of thing, and this former super warrior robot became a butler for this old composer guy, and I get chills just thinking about it. It was amazing. I mean, the whole series tries to play with that a little bit on your emotions, but the first episode was just so impactful. We were like, oh my God. But speaking of that, we were going to talk about Hitler's Big Feet, that movie. No, that's not it.
Yeah, no. We both managed to watch a movie around the same time to talk about on the show.
Yeah, and it's not called Hitler's Big Feet.
No, it's called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
So the interesting thing about this one, or a different interesting thing about this one, is I think evidently, because you replied to the old thread, thanks to Google, it's easy to search. But about 5 years ago, you sent a link.
I'd read a review
of
of
this,
it,
and you're like, "Hey, we should watch."
It came out in 2018.
Maybe we should watch this movie. I completely forgot about that. And one night I was trying to find something to watch, and I was like, "Oh, that's a weird title." And then Sam Elliott is in it.
Yeah.
And I thought, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna try it." Because
that same review I sent you had I think it opened with a line that, with a name like Smuckers, it has to be good, and with a name like The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot, you almost have to watch it.
Well, yeah, but because I like B movies, and I thought it would be kind of like a B movie.
Yeah, it sounds kind of schlocky and
yeah,
like
so that's why
Tarantino or something like that.
So that's why I decided to watch it, and then of course Sam Elliott. I love Sam Elliott, and I was trying to figure out, God, Sam Elliott in a B movie. Why would he do that? So I was curious, and anyway, and then you watched it too after all these years, and
well, it had been on my list for a long time, and all that kind of thing, and yeah, it's really, I was talking to a coworker who's into movies, and I mentioned it, and I after I told him the name of it, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll check it out," and I said, "But it's not the movie you're expecting it to be." Just be aware that I think that's part of the reason why I read through a lot of reviews on the Letterboxd or Letterboxd site, where I think people really just didn't know what to make of it, or were expecting something really different than it is.
Well, now I get that because the title is misleading, really, because you think it's going to be a schlocky B movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, for me, I'm glad I did not have any expectations at all. I hadn't read you sent me the link, but I forgot about it. And so I rediscovered it on my own. But I'm glad I had no expectations because, I probably would have enjoyed it anyway. But it was so, again, another one of these, it was really moving.
It really was.
I mean, it's so. I mean,
it's very
normally
melancholy, actually.
B movies don't get into that that emotion, you know. I just or that, you know, and there's flashbacks and loss and
Yeah, and I hate to give too much of it away.
I don't want to, but
it's so, it's so centered on the Sam Elliott's character.
yeah,
And
things, you know, sadness. That's not the word I'm looking for.
yeah, there's a lot of
Mourning. It just
about things like that, and again, I think it takes place in the 1980s.
yeah, but a lot of it is based on in a flashback.
But basically, I mean, it isn't giving too much away because it's in the title. But about this this older man who
when he was younger,
who was in World War II and killed Hitler.
yeah,
And then most of the time it's older Sam Elliott playing this character, who is just living anonymously in a small town. And I was thinking I would watch a movie just of him hanging around in his town, talking to his barber and all that stuff.
Who is his brother?
It turns out to be his brother. But all the interactions are great. And
that in itself is interesting.
Sam Elliott plays it really kind of low key.
Yeah. The guy that played his brother, I meant to look him up, but I forgot. I think he used to be a comedian that I used to follow.
I have seen the guy too, yeah.
But anyway, he
go look him up.
his character is the way he plays it is, in their relationship, they leave a lot of things not said. I mean,
in fact, there are a lot of details that are not really explained, which I think works for this movie because it's just
I don't want the explanation.
You're getting really snippets of the character's experience and things like that, and it's not 100. I mean, just again, the title in a way fits it because it's not entirely real.
But then again, some of it is very real because you can really relate to, like, you know, male relationships or brothers. I mean, there's so much unsaid, but that you can feel it. You know, the history because he's like, well, did you want to talk about something? There's sitting on a park bench or did you or just want to sit here quiet? That's okay too. And
there's a lot. It's just there are a lot of details in it. I really appreciated it, and even the flashback stories were, I think, pretty well done and limited. Like the part where he's, without giving it too much away, but when he's infiltrating Germany and everything like that.
Sure,
it's very little, just snippets.
But I think they give you just enough. So that it's plausible.
Less is more in this particular movie, I think.
They give you just enough that it's plausible that this actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, because that could have been a whole different movie. Just
I can't imagine anybody but Sam Elliott playing a young Sam Elliott. That's the only part that didn't quite work. But what else?
But considering, I thought because that actor was able to, I thought it plausible, a younger. Had some of the younger version of the mannerisms.
Yeah, it was very subtle, but or the scenes with his lady friend and all that were I thought were you could argue they were cliche, but I thought it was fairly touching and tastefully done.
Oh yeah, no, it was very
and
there was some really nice moments.
Nice moments
in that relationship too.
The movie isn't too long, which is not something I say very often these days.
Oh no,
movies often are too long. I think
about an hour too long sometimes.
And the dialogue was well done. I thought was occasionally very dry humor.
Oh yeah, it was very dry.
Yeah, totally. And I highly recommend watching it. I don't know if everybody will love it, but I think having expectations not set too firmly is the key.
Yeah, I mean, so there was one scene. Speaking of dialogue, where that one on the park bench, I think that would be a what was the term I used? I took a film class, a plot point. I don't know. There was a term for these major moments in a film. Anyway, that park bench was one of those, whatever that is. My film instructor is dead, so he won't get mad at me. Or he's rolling in his grave. But you forgot that? I think it was Flat Point.
It's naturalism. No.
It wasn't that teacher.
I know that's
yeah. So anyway, but I did have to rewatch it again because the first time I watched it,
I'm gonna watch it again too at some point. I think there are things I would pick up on.
There's a kind of a thing in more modern movies where it's hard to understand. I read an article about how people are using subtitles a lot more even for English movies if they're English, but because the dialogue gets, maybe it was a YouTube video talking about it. Maybe it wasn't on an article. I don't read. What am I talking about? It probably was YouTube. But anyway, there's this trend where it's harder to understand dialogue. And this movie was fine with that. There was one line where he was talking to his brother, and I thought he said, "It's the Bigfoot again," when he's talking about his next thing. And they just went on with it. And I was like, what? So evidently in this world or whatever, everybody just knows and accepts Bigfoot. That wasn't quite the...
Yeah, that part of it was a little surreal, but...
Yeah, there wasn't quite the line. That line was like, "It's the Bigfoot band," or something like that. But still, which is, I guess, was his brother's name. Something like that.
Yeah,
But anyway, still, that line is, or that... It's kind of a throwaway line. It's like, it's the Bigfoot. I got to go take care of Bigfoot. So it's like, and he's like, well, does it have to be you? I mean, he just accepts it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, good luck.
Well, or even the scene before that when the government people are trying to talk
which
him
is
into doing it.
that guy from Office Space.
Yeah, and that's kind of downplayed too. It's like, we need you to, we need to kill the Bigfoot. And it's not like the guy's like, "What? Bigfoot's real?" He's just,
Yeah, like, okay.
And people just accept it. So that is kind of surreal. But I like it.
Yeah, but also this the director of this was his first feature film.
Yeah. What did he do before? I can't remember.
I think he'd done some short things before, but
yeah, he was a student. I think this was it wasn't a student film exactly, but I can't remember the director's name. We'll put it in the liner notes, but
yeah, and I think one of the things that I read was that Douglas Trumbull, if you remember him.
Oh, no.
He was that special effects guy who did 2001 and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh,
and directed Silent Running, things like that.
That makes sense. Just the way the Bigfoot turned out. But he didn't do the special effects for Bigfoot.
No. I think he passed away last year or something like that.
Okay.
But, he backed it, and also John Sayles, the director.
Okay.
Who's known for a lot of really good movies, and he also those two kind of pushed it along. Really liked the screenplay, and Sam Elliott must have thought it was good.
Now, is this a very atypical role for him? Not necessarily, but I mean, just enough.
It is and it isn't. I mean, he always kind of plays the same character, but he definitely. I think this was one of the more fully developed things I've seen him do.
I don't know but yes, go in with low expectations, and we probably ruined that already. But it. I don't, what an interesting, and it came out a long time ago. Maybe some of you already seen it, but whatever.
I bet few people have seen it. I think it flew under there. And Sam Elliott was, that was the same year he was either nominated or won an Oscar for
Big Lebowski.
A Star is Born.
Oh.
Yeah, Big Lebowski is in the 90s.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I never watched the remake of A Star is Born.
Yeah, Sam Elliott is in that one.
Oh, I forgot all about that. I remember that now, him getting that award.
Yep. So I think that kind of was the big thing for him that year, but this was the same year.
Yeah, and and I think it's great that he took the role, because I'm sure it wasn't a huge budget or anything like that, but
No, I've heard it was pretty low budget.
It would be
So
hard.
he must have liked it.
Oh yeah, but really, when you think about a passion project, I guess. But when you think about it, though, I mean, what other actor would have? I don't know.
Yeah, and how about that weird? Again, apologies if for all you have not seen this and don't know
Fast
what we're talking
forward
about.
30
just,
seconds.
Just kind of skip ahead. That scene when he's in the camp with the Russian
Okay, now
and
it's
all
been-
that stuff where he shaves him and they drink vodka.
Oh, yeah, that was a weird scene. That
that
flashback
was just
one.
strange. Yeah.
What? Yeah. See, now I've been thinking about watching the whole movie again because I'm trying to think. What did that have? That was showing. It wasn't really relevant in a sense, but it helped develop the character in that he knew all these languages and different things. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I think so. I need to take another look at that because I was still not 100% sure how that fit, but
And maybe.
it was a good scene.
Well, yeah, but because I didn't think about it until later, now that you mention it too, I was like, I don't quite know. I kind of need to see it again, I guess. And I haven't, I guess one of the things I'm trying to say is it did remind me of, watching movies with you all and, especially like Faith or something and afterwards we'd go out for coffee or something and talk about the movie. And, I just don't do that anymore. And, no one who does. Well, we are on a podcast, but, I guess it just brought up that kind of nostalgic sort of film analysis sort of thing that we used to do, but because other people that you talk to, they have different. Oh, what about this? And oh, wow, they have other insights, or whatever. I should make Faith watch it.
Yeah, or you might have a totally different take on it, but I think it's possible they have either on this one.
Well, I mean, I could see where somebody'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" There. Now we got our explicit rating, but I think, I could see where somebody would be just completely thrown off by it, I guess.
Yeah. No, it was clear that a lot of people did and just thought it was dumb and or too kind of sentimental or whatever. But
well, yeah, because somebody that likes B movies with that title, they'd probably be misled. They'd be
and then it's like, oh yeah, I read comments like, oh, it's just another one of these dumb sentimental things, some old white guy and his problems or whatever.
It's
technically that's true, but
it's like, I thought it was going to be a B film, and here it is, an art film. I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Huh. Exactly. So anyway, check it out.
I did. Oh, you're talking to the people listening.
To anybody still listening, we liked it. One other show I'll put a plug in for that I still am working my way through that I like is For All Mankind.
Oh yeah,
that's
still going?
Alternate history science fiction show.
80s, the Russians win the space war,
they're the first person on the moon.
Yeah,
back in the 60s, and
hilarious antics ensue.
It's very funny. Good show. I'm in the current season that ended last year, I think, like that. But it's been good.
How many seasons did that go? Is it
it's
all done now?
4. I don't know if there's another season or not.
Well, that's another thing.
They're almost up to current time, not quite.
Okay.
So I would think they don't have that much left to go. But
well, then they'll start going in the future, or they'll make a prequel.
That's right.
So who was that guy that was always doing prequels? We used to kind of J.J. Abrams or something.
JJ? Yeah.
What? I haven't heard of him for a while.
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. I got to Google that. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, well, maybe he's
He
gotta
made
do
it,
another Star Wars movie or something.
he made enough money that he doesn't need to worry about it. But I guess
Right.
maybe you run out of prequel ideas. We tease him. He's
That
a good
JJ,
friend of
yeah.
ours, and
I
we'll have him
hope
on next week.
He stopped returning my calls, but
He did give us $5 at buymeacoffee.com/timetolene.com.
there you go.
Well, John, you got big plans tonight.
Yeah, I wonder what they are.
You don't know what they are? Are you going out? To dinner? Where are you going?
I have this vague idea we're going to go have dinner somewhere, but
Oh, okay. It's one of those deals. I should eat something myself.
you should. Well, it's been too long, Phil. We'll get back on the horse and
With no name.
a horse with. Oh no,
That
don't.
will not be the song. Okay. The song that shall never be released. We
No.
did a cover
As
of that.
tantalizing as that might
We
sound.
did a cover of it, but it was not. Lots of ad libs.
Yep. Yeah, it's in the vault. Just that and Song of the South are in the same vault.
We didn't do that one though. And it's not racist. Is it?
No, I guess not, but
Okay,
it's
fine.
almost as bad. No. Well,
Fine.
good night, Phil.
Here's the song!
Alone or in a group, I love dancing and having soup. A cha-cha with a chowder, a bolero with a bisque, a tango with tomato, it simply can't be missed. A foxtrot with a hot pot, flamenco with faux, vogue with vichyssoise, swaying to and fro. Alone or in a group, I love dancing and having soup. Calypso with gazpacho, ballet with matzo ball, Bollywood with borscht, in St. Paulo, Senegal. Mambo with miso, electric boogaloo and bouillabaisse. A rumba with ramen puts a smile on my face. Alone or in a group, I love dancing and having soup.
Soup. Soup. May I have this dance? You are so light on your feet, and your breath smells of broth.
Alone or in a group, I love dancing and having